By the end of this, you'll have a working free AI API key, pulling live responses into your app. 0 credit card, 0 sketchy proxy. Get this wrong and you're debugging 401 errors at midnight, wondering why nobody warned you. Getting a free AI API key reliably comes down to picking the right provider and not skipping the boring but critical steps. Let's get your key working right now. Step 1. Generate a free API key from Google AI Studio. Most people skip straight to copying a key from some random blog post, and that key is either expired, rate capped at 10 requests a day, or straight up fake. Google AI Studio gives you a real key, free, tied to your own Google account in about 2 minutes. I went to ai.google.dev, clicked Get API Key, and had a working key in under 2 minutes. No credit card asked, no waitlist. BazaarLink does the same thing, also free, also no card, though its free tier caps at 50 requests per day versus Google Flash's 1,000 and 500. So if you're just prototyping, Google AI Studio is the obvious starting point. Step 1 works cleanly. The free tier headroom is genuinely useful at 1,500 requests a day on Flash and $0 per request, and that's one of 6 steps done with 0 friction. I know that 1,500 number because I ran into the 50 request wall on the wrong provider first and lost a solid afternoon to it. If a rate limit has already bitten you, drop it in the comments. Step 2. Store your API key securely using an environment variable. The number to care about here is 0, as in 0 times. Your key should appear in your source code, because one accidental git push with a hard-coded key and you're rotating credentials at 2 a.m. while someone else racks up charges on your account. Google's own Quick Start docs tell you to read the key from the environment, not from source. So you put it in a env file, add env to your gitignore, and load it at runtime. One of the biggest problems I run into when using AI agents is turning their output into YouTube content I can actually use to market my product. That's why this video is sponsored by Subscriber, a tool that helps business owners connect their AI agents to YouTube and market their products without spending 10 hours every week creating content. You can connect Claude or ChatGPT directly to Subscriber. It then analyzes your business, website, and YouTube channel to help you create SEO-optimized video ideas, scripts, thumbnails, and even complete videos that actually match your brand. What I like most is that every week, Subscriber gives me a list of high-potential video ideas I can immediately execute, and it can even help edit videos for me, with or without my face, including videos like the one you're watching right now. It's easy to get started, and you can try Subscriber for free using the link in the description below. Now back to the video. For anything deployed, Google recommends Secret Manager over a long-lived env-var, which is the right call because a leaked env-var in a container log is just as bad as a hard-coded key. Step 2 works exactly as documented, no surprises, because the pattern is just env-var plus gitignore and you're done. 2 of 6 steps are clean, and this one is the one that saves you from a very bad night. Step 3. Verify your API key actually works with a real test request. A lot of people skip this and find out the key is broken 3 layers deep in their app, staring at a 403 with no idea if the problem is the key, the project linkage, or the model name. 30 seconds now saves you an hour of guessing later. I ran a generate content call against the Gemini API and had a text response back in about 30 seconds, which tells you the key is valid, the project is linked, and the model name is right, all 3 confirmed in one shot. If you'd rather not write any code, APImaster.ai has a browser-side tester that checks your key without ever sending it to their servers. Step 3 works as promised. A 30-second test call confirms everything in one go, and now you actually know your key works before you write a single line of real app code. 3 of 6 steps done, all clean so far. Step 4. Find a free AI API provider that doesn't ask for a credit card. OpenAI stopped offering free API access, so if you've been searching for a free OpenAI key, you're going to hit a wall. But there are real alternatives with better free tiers than OpenAI's paid intro tier. I looked at 3 solid no-card options. BazaarLink gives you 50 requests per day free with no waitlist. Grok gives you 1,000 requests per day on Llama 70B, and OpenRouter opens up about 55 free models through a single key. BazaarLink's 50 request cap is pretty tight for anything beyond light testing, so Grok is the better pick if you need real throughput. Watch out here, the free tiers vary a lot by provider, so pick the wrong one and you're out of quota before lunch. If you need OpenAI compatible endpoints with no card, Grok is the pick at 1,000 requests per day, and that's 4 steps in. 3 clean, 1 with a gotcha, you now know how to dodge. Alright, so you've got a key, it's stored safely, it's verified, and you know which provider to use. But 2 steps still decide whether any of this actually runs in a real app without leaking your key or falling over mid-session. Step 5 is where most people make the mistake that gets them hacked, and Step 6 is where the free tier runs out faster than you'd expect. Step 5. Integrate your free API key into a real coding application. Security researchers are finding API keys exposed in front-end JavaScript every single day, and those apps are usually built by people who followed a tutorial that put the key in the wrong place. Your key belongs on the server, full stop. I ran both paths, and the Google SDK integration is clean. You set the key server-side, call the API through the SDK, done. BazarLink and Grok are even easier if you're already on an OpenAI client because you just swap the base URL and drop in your new key. No other code changes needed, which is honestly pretty cool. The gotcha is putting the key on the client side, even by accident, so keep the API call in your backend or serverless function, never in browser JavaScript. 5 steps in, 3 clean, and 2 with gotchas, you've now got the fix for. Step 6, avoid rate limits and token exhaustion mid-session. The day your app hits 1,500 requests by noon and starts throwing 429 errors at every user is a rough day, and free tiers cap by the day, by the minute, and sometimes by the model, with those numbers changing without much warning. I checked the current rate limit tables, and the numbers differ a lot. Google Flash is 1,500 requests per day. Google Pro drops to 50 per day. BazarLink caps at 50 per day, and Grok's Llama 70B sits at 1,000 ULs per day, with a 30 requests per minute ceiling on top of that. The mitigation playbook is pretty straightforward. Use the smallest model that does the job, add exponential backoff with jitter on any 429, and track your quota per environment so dev and prod don't share a cap. This step depends on your setup because limits shift by model and change without notice, so you have to read the current table every time you pick a provider. Build the backoff in from day 1 and it's mostly fine. 6 steps done, and the whole workflow holds up when you follow the playbook. So with Google AI Studio, you're getting 1,500 requests per day on Flash, completely free, with official Gemini SDK docs that actually match what the API does. Key generation is instant, quick start verification works in 30 seconds, and the native SDK integration is documented well enough that you won't be guessing at anything. Now the common mistakes. Gotcha 1. Picking BazarLink when you need more than 50 requests a day. Fix it by using Grok instead at 1,000 per day. Gotcha 2. Putting your API key in the front end. Fix it by moving the call to your backend. Gotcha 3. Assuming OpenRouter's free model list is stable, check it before you ship because models rotate off. If you want the most headroom to experiment for free, the default pick is Google AI Studio at 1,500 requests per day, $0. If you're already using an OpenAI client and don't want to rewrite anything, swap in Grok or BazarLink and you're done in 2 minutes. Okay, so one thing almost no tutorial mentions. BazarLink's free tier doubles to 100 requests per day the moment you add a credit card on file, even if you never get charged. So if 50 requests per day is too tight, but you don't want to switch providers, just add the card and your daily quota doubles automatically, no plan upgrade needed. Now that you've got a working key, the next question is what to actually build with it. If you want to see how Claude handles artifacts and live output, my video on Claude Artifacts Explained walks through exactly how that works, and it pairs really well with what you just set up here.